Stand, greet.
I was born into a family, um, a very strong values, religious values, moral values, everything. And I'm a fourth child of 6 children, born into the family of Alaji and Alaja Fasasi. My name is Sultan. That's my stage name. Real name Olanrewaju Fasasi. Musician, songwriter, producer, movie producer, scriptwriter, etc. I was born in Jos, but brought up in Lagos. The interesting thing about my background is from a very strict background of a mother who was a teacher, a civil servant father. One would not ordinarily think that two children will come out being musicians as at that time, because back then any musician or anybody that came out to be someone called an entertainer would just depict the fact that, oh, they never do well or dropouts, or and my father and my mother being Alaja and also strong characters in the mosque, it was really a jaw dropper for a lot of people to see them support us the way they did. And the most important part of it is that they were so proud of us, and they made sure that they let people understand, and they changed the minds of other parents as well. Because right now it's the norm, but then it was really outlandish for you to support your child to do music. In Nigeria, look, go to school, make sure you finish whatever course you're studying, and then you can now chase that as a job or career or whatever. So for us, we stuck to the script. And when I say we, of course, my elder brother Baba D, because he was the one doing it before me, and it was the one I really followed his footsteps and learned the ropes from. I was meek, but very. I was an introvert, very quiet, very shy, but at the same time, I knew I could understand what also was. For me, I would call myself half-caste. That's what I always say. Half-caste between Kpakwa and Bota. And at a time when we were very young, not very young, but quite young, our father had retired, and it was now for us to keep grinding and make sure that the house was peaceful. When I say peaceful, you know what I mean. So yeah, all my school days we started hustling. Started seeing where we could, working in the barbering salon, trying to see if we could wash cars to get money, whatever it was we were doing to support the family as well. So when the music and the talent came calling, it was more of a necessity, than just a hobby of some sort. Baba D had advised me that once I get into school, that's the tertiary institution, I should make sure, I don't let my shyness get the best of me. I should make sure I start letting people know what I'm made up of. That is the first community I have to, grab. I have to make my fan base, and eventually when I graduate, they graduate with me and they move to the big picture. And I made sure that every stage, that was being put up, I made sure I climbed everyone, and everybody within a year or two, they started knowing that, okay, this guy is an artist. Let's call him for a show. Let's do a gig with him. My family was more like a litmus test for everything we were doing from the ground up. So we could know if it was lovely, would understand from their reaction to whatever it is we do. You can't explain talent. Sometimes it's really easy for me. A lot of people are like, wow, how did you do that? I wouldn't be able to explain, but I made sure I kept practicing and kept, getting better with it. Creating another personality out of your, your natural space. The thing is, I always say that now hunger teach me. No, they shy. Hunger will teach you. Necessity is the mother of invention. So when hunger grab you small, you open your mouth, talk, when people hear you. Every time I speak with my dad, back then it would be like more break sort of lot again, but you know. So I understood the fact that if I was gonna work with my personality as a natural endowment, it would not go thus far with this entertainment thing. So I needed to rehearse, practice over time, get used to, you know, being in front of the spotlight, get used to talking to people, get used to mingling, because it might appear to other people as being snobbish if you don't talk too much. You know, just learning over time that there has to be a certain personality for that, you know. So whatever it is you do with this one, the family, close friends, those are the ones that will know about. You know, that's just you. That's you being you. But when you take that alias, or they call you that name that they know you by, everything has changed. It's like a two-faced personality. That's keep it running, you know. Over time, you get used to it. It'll be seamless. You won't know when you're switching, you know. So that's just it. I mean, and for an introvert, the creativity is the escape. So their mind wanders more because they speak less, you know, and they're more adventurous.
Attention all brothers, this is a Ninja and Hypertech collaboration.
I am something like a bushmeat. I am searching for the hunter. If I ever catch the hunter, if you help me see the hunter, ever meet him.
I started hustling as an MC, doing my comedy thing, you know, to make ends meet. And I saved enough money after doing two-year tours with Benson Energies as the MC that toured the whole nation. I gathered the money and shot my first song, Jabojantis, Mathematics.
Things of this people, so many. Many times plenty, multiplier. Many times plenty, multiplier. The answer you get now, waiting, they will come and they cry.
I started writing songs when I was in secondary school, you know, because I was like a mini star in school, because I mimed, and my mimes were always like hits, you know. Everybody when they know that I'm the one miming the certain song at the social gathering, they know, oh, that guy will kill it, you know. So I used to kill my mimes, man. So I felt like, okay, I'm miming other people's songs. Can't you even write? You know, I was just in my room one day in secondary school. I was trying to just write. How hard is it to write? You know, and I just started writing, and it was making sense. I was rhyming. It was making sense. And that was that, you know. So I didn't start recording until I left secondary school. You know, when all that time we'll be waiting for JAMB result and all those things. That was when I had a lot of time on my side, and writing just started coming and coming. I had written like 150 songs before I even got into, you know, like written songs plenty from different genres, and people would disbelieve when they see the titles on my. I had one box like that. Like, we are sing this one. I'll sing it, pick at random, and then I sing everything. They'll be like, wow, okay. You know, so that's for me, it dates as far back as when I was in secondary school, but it didn't, you know, kick off or take off until when I left secondary school, you know, and university. Back then, it was more of the passion over it being a career. It was not that lucrative then, but we were about doing it passionately and see what comes out of it. Back then, people would argue with you that you would not be able to keep a family by just being a musician or want to. You know, so back then, we had it in mind that we wanted to make a living out of it, but at the same time, you know, there was a space of skepticism somewhere. You owe it to the universe to create a family, because you were from a family. The continuation of humanity depends on you, That's if you're fertile. But yeah, even if you're not fertile, run, adopt, that kind of thing. So, but everybody has the right and obligation to family. So why we say because you're a musician and you don't do this now, or you wait tarry a while to, I just didn't conform to that. So my own was, this is another opportunity for blessing, And what I did was I made sure I created a new timetable for myself. I created a new timetable and adjusted my reality. In the sense that I used to record outside. Moment I got married, I built my own studio in my house, did my own studio, so I don't need to go out anymore to record songs. I had quality time with my family, so they knew where to catch me in case they didn't see me in the other rooms. Go to the studio, you see him there, So I just started working from home, so to say, and whatever show takes me out of the vicinity, I owe that show 3 days. The day of getting there, the day of the show, and the day of return, like half. So that's what I do. Plan my trips, plan my holidays, along with the family somehow. Just make sure that they are always in the picture, and keep them really far away from the public glare. Because when you start involving them in everything you do, it gets a bit crazy if you can't control, it. So for me, I just feel like everybody, if it's your wife, it's still okay if she obliges you. But you see, those young people, they have their own right to say no, but that time they can't answer you yet. So you wait till they get to a certain age before you start exposing them. You say, should I post this picture? Then don't post them, or that, that kind of thing. So I just make sure that I just kind of like separate the two worlds.
Power, no power. Only power, not the one who them get you with them. You stay oppressed, so my people for the ghetto.
It's very important for you to understand that in order to be a billionaire, it's not just one revenue stream you depend on. And for me, I've learned from the ground up not to be comfortable or celebrate too long on one success, just to find a way to, harness it or garnish it with other hustles. So when I was hustling as, maybe attendant for barbing salon and all this stuff, those ones were during secondary school and university, before university days. Once I started my music career, or so to say entertainment career, because I started as an MC, comedian, compare. I was doing that, and God had, just created a platform for me. There was no time I was lacking anything. The opportunity, the platform, and also funds at some point. Once I finished my NYSC, I got back to Lagos. The moment I got to Lagos, some people that had seen me on stage of the last show had been calling my neighbor's number. They get cell phone that time. So my neighbor get phone. So they'd been calling my neighbor's number. So once I got into Lagos, my neighbor was like, these people have been blowing up our phone. They want you for some audition, I don't know. So that was me just after my NYSC. Before my NYSC, I got delayed after school because of batches and all that, so I couldn't go for 1 year. Funny thing is, that 1 year, me, Plantation Boys, Julius Agu, Basket Mouse, Black Reverends, Azadas, so many of us were called by Society for Family Health to start a tour. And that tour went all over Nigeria, to Nigerian schools. We went to Kafanchan, we went to Benin, we went to Enugu, we went to Port Harcourt, all by road. And a 10K then they give us that year. went to Jos. The funny one is, they gave, in fact, now 12K they give us, but that guy, bros, I don't know, they look at you, collect 2K. Now, normal, nobody say, nah, I didn't get the show for us. So, so I was wondering that day and the rest of the cobwebs, they collect 10K to go Jos by road, and there were 6 of them. I did my PT pass. So yeah, we were doing all that. That was when I was supposed to go for NYSC. So I did that tour in all schools and everything, and that, you know, put some money in my pocket. That really assisted the hustle a great deal. We did that for a year and a half or 2 years, and for me, that was just after graduation. And graduation, from then on, it was me going for NYSC, coming back just barely like a month or 3 weeks, a month, coming back to Lagos. Okay, I don't want to serve in Abia State. I'm coming back to Lagos to see how they fare or do whatever. And then I get a call from my neighbor, and then I go for the auditions, and then I get picked as MC for Best in Energies. And then from there, I was touring here and there, touring for 2 years. They retained me as the only MC for the next year. I did that, and that was how I gathered money to shoot Mathematics. It makes 20 years my album first dropped. It's 20 years now. So for me, I'm just going with the script, so to say. The challenges that are peculiar to the industry, I faced them, of course, but not, long term. I never had money to go from point A to B. There was always challenges. I started off as an upcoming. I started off as a band guy. I never used to do my own thing solo. So I imagine me not having transport and still having to carry like 8 other people with me to go and hustle. Because I won Benson and Edges, grabbed the mic in 1999, and that was a band organized thing. So that band, I kept the band, and we kept just hustling. We used to do street jams in Ijegun. Nobody paid, nobody cared. We by the gutter, we just collect some churches' instruments and just stay there. We're using it to rehearse. We're not supposed to play the regional finals. We're supposed to just go to national finals, but somehow they cheat us. So also go to regional finals so they can cup us also. We're rehearsing for the regional finals of the Benson Angels. At night, on a certain street, Olanrewaju, we'll be there by the gutter or by the road. People will just be outside their house watching, and soon enough, I gathered fans all over the street. People were like, they knew my songs. The next Friday, I'll be there. People are already singing our song. They already know. That was when I knew, wow, I think I was cut out for this. I never believed that me, the shy guy, would be organizing all this kind of street jam and be okay with it. Night of 1,000 Laps, the first one that was put on CD, I was part of it. I was doing my kids, mates, all these things, and I was doing my MC thing, using that to get money on the side. If the music wasn't, calling up, I would use that to get money, shock out, shoot another video. That's what I was doing. Before I got called by Nelson Brown, he saw me at a Tema Award show in 1998, and he was like, wow, man, where are you? I was like, oh, I stay in Satellite and you stay in First Tag, so we can hit it off. I'm the one that produced Plantation Boys, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, that's good, And that's how we started working. I released my album. And I was in 1999. The challenges are really strong. The challenges that we faced back then, are relative with the times, but they're very. If I say it now, it will look like, But yeah, there were no MP3s. There were no CDs yet. For us to get our music to, say, Port Harcourt, Ibadan, all those places, we had to waybill the tape over there for them to be able to play it. If at all you need your music to go anywhere outside of this place, you have to do the legwork or somebody has to go. You know, MP3s now flying up all over the world. You know, emails, everything. People are getting their music to everywhere in the world. But, you know, back then that was the norm. Back then, the challenges wore a different face. But now the challenges are even the challenges are more cost effective. They are more high maintenance. You know, for me, I feel like the major challenges we have now in the industry is no more pirate too. It's no more all those things. In fact, we have better ways now to, you know, to make money from our works. More direct ways to make money from our works. But the challenge is that, you see, anything is sweet, everybody don't want to be part of it. So right now, I can tell you that in every close, every street, there might be like 50 musicians or upcoming or wanting to be a musician in that street. I'm telling you, everywhere, in the crannies of Lagos, Port Harcourt, the major cities, I'm telling you, because, you know, music right now, even parents are telling their children, oh, yeah, go on, do music. So when it's all comers affair, everybody's, you know, hustling for the same 24 hours airtime. That's where the challenges come, and that's where money is put in the hands of several people, and the musicians have to pay through their nose to be part of, you know, the rotation or be part of any conversation at all. So everything right now is money, 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 more money. Back then it was more of you know, they give credit to, oh, nice song, oh, this is a great song, let's play it. But now, payola, everything are payola. They don't even want to know. But legend, okay, now about the money go plenty be that. So we pay through our nose to make sure we stay on, and you know, it's just the way it is now. Everything is money. Everything, like I said, 360 is all money, 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 money. So for CEOs like us, like people who are investing in the talent, is always very financially, you know, can gain on us. The money, money, money is just too damn much. Everywhere you go, everybody won't collect their own money. You know, police you there, oh, now everybody they won't collect their own money. You know, industry people, from what we work out like this, from your car to your set, you spend money. Because you have to pay makeup artists, pay dancer, pay stylist, pay this and pay that one, pay director, pay bobo, you know, and everything doesn't come cheap, you know, so you just have to double your hustle and make sure that you're part of that conversation, or else. I'm always switching my motivation sometimes, you know, with reality, you know, because motivation has to be natural, has to be real, and has to be something that you're really passionate about, that pushes or drives you. So at some point in time, I was motivating myself with the fact that I wanted to give my parents, you know, a little bit more, increase their lifestyle, the standard of living, and just do more for my parents and support them. That was my motivation at that point in time, you know. And when my parents got late, I redirected my motivation towards doing what they were supposed to do if they were alive, you know, like making sure I supported my younger ones through school and do all that. That was my motivation at another stage, you know. And now that, you know, everybody is fine, that part is gone. I need to really motivate myself. My little family, my new family, you know, my children, my wife, you know, gotta make them proud of daddy, gotta, you know, give them a good living. That's enough motivation. And for me, to keep my head above water, you know, I always tell people that the greatest motivation is just knowing that you are, is not you. Talent, the funny thing about talent that people don't know is, it's just like app inside phone. you know, the talent is not be you, you can't learn talent. So you always have to give God the glory and make sure you use it well. You know, use it to also inspire others or help others. Use it, you know, to pass message. Whatever it is, just make sure you use it right. You know, so and that motivation is, you know, God for me is a motivation for me to not to let that talent die, because right, so many people around and He chose me to give me that talent, so I have to make sure I use it to the best. First and foremost, we always misinterpret the word leader, misinterpret the word, you know, the word follower. Once you can attract attention for a given amount of people, you know, I feel that you're a leader. And you're a leader of a thought process. You're a leader of a certain perspective to life. Because most times people feel like, oh, political leaders, and I then be leaders. Not relative to, you know, what we've seen in some of these people are not actually even leaders. You know, I feel like they are dealers. They are not leaders. And you that you find yourself in a position where you influence people daily, you don't realize you're a leader. You don't know the qualities of a leader. You don't know that a certain generation might be affected because of you. You don't understand that. You just look at it like, you know, I'm being me. It's just me. But truth of the matter is, a whole generation is looking up to musicians, sports people, entertainers, you know, actors, whatever. And those are the people they really act like. They don't act like the government people. People are doing the hair. Nobody says one governor, female governor, did hair. I'm going to do the kind of hair. Nobody says that. You know, so for me, I want every, you know, popular person, famous people to own up to their position that define themselves first, and then to understand that a leader is supposed to live for not just themselves but for everybody, and to find a balance between, you know, creativity and positivity. You know, the truth of the matter, you know, is that I always choose to be down to earth, so I can be accessible, so I can be asked questions if need be, so that people would not get the misconception that, oh, this is how the come up was. It was easy overnight, whatever. You know, like today on my Instagram, if you go and check what I posted, you will realize that a lot of people are talking. You know, people are getting inspired. And wow, you have to go and borrow clothes from somebody that borrowed clothes from somebody to go to this show. Ah, well, no, it's you. Thank God, see what you did today. Now, so I go to grind too. You know, that's the kind of you know, message I want to pass to people, that it never started rosy. You know, I go live with my barber, who's my friend, who used to be the one that gave me transport money. Then, you know, if I wanted to go for a show, I have to go and look for a customer for him. Once he finished barbing the person, he just give me the money. I'll go and hustle for studio session and all that. So yeah, that's what I used to. Those are the messages I pass through my platform. So people going through the same thing will be like, wow, hey, that's exactly what I'm going through now. If we went through that and it's way, let me continue. So that's it.